Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Fondue, your host with the most here, bringing you another episode of Cheese Bites.
And I'm Cheesy.
We're talking 1766.
1776?
No, for real, 1766.
Oh.
And a cheese riot.
Ooh.
We're talking the American cheese timeline.
Nice.
We're talking about a giant wheel of cheese,
Ooh.
a cheesemaker you can buy,
Whoa.
and a tractor trailer that's spelled.
Aw.
And, of course, a cheesy joke.
Haha,
Get
joke.
ready for Cheese
Episode
Bites.
1766.
It's July 4th weekend here in the United States.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd talk a little bit about some cheese in 1766.
1776, duh.
No, I know. In 1766, before the United States gained independence,
Oh.
there was something called the Great Cheese Riot.
Whoa.
It started at the annual Goose Fair, where locals would traditionally buy and sell cheese, a lot of it.
Ooh.
But that year, food prices were really high due to a terrible harvest.
Aw.
So when some cheese-loving merchants from Lincolnshire tried to make off with all of the Nottingham cheese, the locals weren't having it.
Oh, no.
The Nottingham locals demanded that the merchants leave the cheese in the town.
Whoa.
When they refused, chaos broke out.
Whoa.
Shops and warehouses were looted, and cheese wheels were literally rolled through the streets like dairy cannonballs.
Holy cow.
Even the mayor, Robbie Swan, got knocked off his feet by a flying wheel of cheese.
Whoa.
A cargo boat full of cheese was hijacked.
Wow.
A warehouse was attacked.
Whoa.
Roadblocks were set up to stop the cheese from leaving the city.
Whoa.
It got so bad that the army was called in.
Holy cow.
Apparently, the 1st Regiment of Light Dragoons showed up.
Dragoon.
This is when things turned bad.
Oh, no.
A local farmer named William Eggleston was killed.
Oh,
and he was
no.
likely trying to protect his own cheese, but was mistaken for a looter.
Oh, no.
This riot lasted days.
Days.
And afterward, cheese wagons were escorted out with armed guards.
Whoa.
And apparently the Great Cheese Riot was just one of many food-related uprisings across England that year. But
Whoa.
Nottingham's was the most dramatic.
Wow.
In 2016, they marked its 250th anniversary with the mayor and a local cheese shop.
Whoa.
America was born in 1776, but did you
Yeah.
know that cheese was here before that?
Really?
The Pilgrims actually brought established recipes like cheddar from Europe all the way back in the 1600s.
Whoa.
According to cheeseteak.com, these cheeses were made for home consumption.
Whoa.
They say here the sturdiest specimens, which were mainly cheddar, began to be sold at market.
Whoa.
George Washington, our very first president, happened to like cheese.
Really?
They say that in Mount Vernon's kitchen, they included cheese-making supplies, and records show that cheese was part of his regular meals.
Whoa.
He owned dairy cows, and on his farm, they made cheese.
Yum.
Washington surely wasn't the only president with cheese as part of his history.
Right.
According to Monticello.org, there was something called the mammoth cheese.
Whoa.
Now, we've talked about this before, but
Yep.
it's definitely worth talking about again.
Yeah, it
In
is.
1801, Elder John Leland sent a 1,200-pound wheel of cheese to the president as a thank you.
Holy cow.
John Leland and the ladies of his Baptist congregation in Cheshire, Massachusetts, used the milk from 900 cows to craft the cheese.
Whoa.
They pressed it into a 6-foot cylinder press and sent it on its way.
Whoa.
They sent this cheese all the way from Massachusetts to Washington, D.C.
Really?
And remember I said it was sent in 1801.
Yeah.
They had to use sleighs, boats, and wagons
Whoa.
in order to deliver this to Thomas Jefferson on New Year's Day in 1802.
Oh, my.
And they say here that nobody really knows what happened to the cheese.
Yeah.
Some say it was eaten,
Whoa.
some say it spoiled.
Uh-oh.
And although there is no precise date given for the cheese's ultimate disposal,
Okay.
it appears to have been present at the president's house
Oh.
following New Year's Day.
Ooh.
And it was reported to still be there as late as March of 1804.
1804.
And they describe it as far from being good.
Ew.
Some accounts say that it was served at a presidential reception in 1805,
Blech.
or it was dumped into the Potomac at some date unknown.
Uh-huh.
The Mammoth cheese is not a sponsor,
No.
but if it was, the ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do?
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY, that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. We talked about this recently, but I think now we have a dollar amount.
Okay.
According to Investopedia.com, there is a cheese factory. It's actually the oldest one in the country.
Whoa.
It's called Crowley Cheese. It's based
yeah.
in Vermont, and it's been around for more than 200 years.
Wow.
But guess what?
What?
This bad boy is up for sale.
It is?
With an asking price of $2.5 million.
Holy cow.
So if you've got the money and you want to go to Vermont,
Yeah.
there's a cheese-making factory here just for you.
Yeah.
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
According to WPXI.com, there was a terrible accident.
Oh, no.
There was a crash that split open a tractor trailer
What?
on a Pennsylvania highway.
Oh, no.
This accident was so bad that it resulted in one of the tractor trailers ripping open.
What?
And it spilled packages of mozzarella cheese all over the freeway. In fact,
Aw.
the debris field of the cheese spill stretched the length of 2 football fields.
Holy cow.
Thankfully, no one was hurt,
Yeah.
but the cheese did have to be thrown out because it was without
Aw.
refrigeration for hours.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, why did the mayor ban cheese after the riot?
I don't know why.
Because it became a really big problem.
Oh.
Get it? Because wheels of cheese were thrown?
Oh, yeah, that was silly.
Oh, I know it's silly and a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, our short summer series called Cheese Bites.
Cheese bites.
If you have any ideas for upcoming episodes, feel free to
Yeah.
reach out to us at info@justcheesy.com.
And stay cheesy, everybody.